Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. First of all, I want to thank Jeremy Balfour for bringing this debate to the Chamber. And whilst I disagree with most of the points in his motion, we both agree that changing places facilities are not a luxury. They are a lifeline for those who rely upon them in our society. And this year, I've been engaging with parents of children in Inverclyde who have a range of additional support needs, as well as many constituents who have physical disabilities. Now, both groups have highlighted how the lack of changing places toilets in Inverclyde actually are a barrier to them leaving their homes. And for families, it means travelling to Glasgow or other local authority areas who have more changing places facilities in their patches. Sure.
Stephen Kerr.
He's making a fine speech, and I don't intend to make this intervention a political one, but a genuine seeking of information from him as a member of the government party. The Minister has alluded to something in her speech about money being available for changing places in this financial year. Does he, as a member of the government party, know how much money that is? Because we've got speeches to follow, it would be ever so helpful as we make our speeches to know exactly what the Minister's talking
Stuart
about.
McMillan.
So, Mr Kerr, as Mr Kerr will know, I am not a member of the government. I am a member of the governing party, but I am not a member of the government. And the Minister has already stated that she will provide a fulsome reply to the question that was posed earlier on, and I'm sure that Mr Kerr will be delighted to hear that fulsome reply. Certainly, for disabled adults, the lack of accessible toilets can result in social isolation, and both ultimately it may mean money is being lost to Inverclyde's economy, and people and families are missing out on enjoying their local community. There's nothing wrong with going to different parts of the country to actually enjoy what they actually have to offer. Certainly, I'm not really going to comment about other local authority areas, but I know certainly in my area, we have 3 changing places toilets: Craigend Resource Centre in East End of Greenock, the Greenock Health Centre and Tesco Port Glasgow. The latter 2 are not places that you'll actually go to for some leisure and recreation. So I do agree with Jeremy Balfour's position that changing places and toilets are vital for many people to take part in society. Absolutely crucial. And it is a disgrace that on too many occasions streetscapes, retail areas and community spaces are not designed with disabled people in mind. And that was one of the reasons why I held a roundtable meeting only about 2 months ago with all the transport providers who deal with Inverclyde, also the local authority and also Amy were there as well. And this all came because of one of my constituents raising a wide variety of issues. And certainly the issue of changing places toilets came up very much in that discussion, in addition to the meetings I had earlier on alongside the SNP councillors with family members of the from the additional support network, additional support needs network in Inverclyde. But I will, not to be too political, I've listened to what Mr Balfour had to say and the non-political question from Mr Kerr. I do think it is a bit rich for the Conservatives to actually suggest that the SNP have failed disabled people due to financial mismanagement. Quite frankly, in Scotland, disabled people will receive support that they would not receive if they lived in other parts of the UK, i.e. free prescriptions and free personal care are just a couple of examples. And also when it comes to benefits, Social Security Scotland have adopted a fairer, more person-centred approach to welfare. Sure.
Jeremy Balfour, briefly.
I'm grateful and I welcome what the member has said up to now. But would he also be disappointed that the £10 million that was previously in the Scottish Government budget was taken away and has meant that less toilets have been able to be built because that money was taken away and used for other things?
Stuart McMillan.
As Mr Balfour will be aware, in terms of the financial situation that the Scottish Government had this year, there was a reduction in a variety of funds. And that's been well documented and spoken about in this chamber. But just to make Mr Balfour aware that certainly in September, I'd written to the Scottish Government, got a reply with regards to the Changing Places Fund. And the Minister, Jenny Minto, had replied back, who indicated that the first tranche of investment is going to take place in early 2025. Now, that situation may change. We'll find out very shortly. But certainly that was the most up-to-date information I had up to September of this year. So I'm conscious of time, Presiding Officer, so I will conclude. But I want to see more changing places toilets provided across Scotland, including at my own Greenock and Inverclyde constituency. I want to see more changing places toilets made available, particularly in leisure facilities, because I want people to actually enjoy their communities. I don't want people to feel as if they have to be forced to go somewhere else for a day out with their kids. People should be allowed to have a day out in their own community so they can enjoy their own community. And this is why this particular fund is hugely important in terms of that social cohesion and ensuring that people actually can enjoy what they have on their doorstep. Thank you.